Hello guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to have a nosy at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. As you can tell from my past videos about the liveries, I thought I'll do another video. I want to eventually do some trips and start videoing it, but I thought I'll do a video on how I take off and land, and hope this can help some people who don't know how to do it. Now, I'm not an expert, obviously. This is the first time I've learned how to take off and land on any flight sims, because this is the first one I've ever done. So I had no clue, and I've just been watching videos, learning how to do it. And, you know, by all means, I'm probably maybe not doing it the correct way. I'm not too sure. Hopefully I am. But, you know, at the end of the day, I take off, I land. So it's all good. So now I'll just run through what I do from the start to finish. I will skip obviously some of the journey in between, so it doesn't take so long on the video. But I just thought I will obviously show you what I do. So I've got one of Clink's liveries, mega packs on here. So I've got tons of liveries. So yeah, so I've gone for the Condor, which is the Thomas Cook, I believe, before it went bust. So how I start is obviously pick your destination. So we've gone for Manchester, which is my closest airport, and when you click that, you just put set as departure, find where you want to go, which we're doing Dublin today, Dublin International, and set that as arrival. Now when you've got both destinations in, you'll see on the bottom underneath your plane selection, it'll say VFR, direct GPS. It'll just be direct. Now we need, well, I don't know, not so sure why it does this, but I like to see all these little waypoints in between so I can follow it. So what I do, I go to this IFR, low altitude airways. If I was going on a longer flight, I'd probably go to the high altitude. But I click on low altitude, and then it gives you the option to put more of the departure and approach in. Right, so on my departures, I usually go direct. If it's something simple like this, if I go zoom in on Manchester, I will mainly be going on like 23 left, and it's just straight. If it was something stupid where it to come out and turn like a 90-degree angle or 180, then I'll change this. But that seems to be okay. And then what you want to do on your arrival, and this is very important, is your approach. I usually keep my arrivals direct. And then on the approach, I pick an ILS, because it's going to be an ILS landing. Now on this particular one, there is only 3. There's ILS 10. Let me just click that one. As you can see, that's like a go around. So it'll come over here, go around, and then you can come in on runway 10. So we could do that one. And then the next one is runway 16. Which, yeah, I don't understand this one, because you come in here on runway 16. But I don't know why this is lit up here on runway 28. I just don't understand that. It doesn't make sense. So, and then the next one was runway 28. Now this just looked the most simplest to show off for the video. Literally be going over the ocean, turning a little slightly, and then I'm literally lined up for runway 28. I just thought that would be a lot easier to show you. Now what else do you need to do? Now these are just what I do. When I click my airplane, I'm obviously flying the Airbus A320. I don't know why I didn't say that at the start, but it says it up here. And then I go to ATC options, and if anybody wants the call sign to be called out, this is how I do it. So I've got my tail number as GWG, which is gaming with Gibbo. That's just mainly cosmetic. I believe it's just what shows on your tail. Call sign, I've got it as Carl, because it does actually say instead of doing individual letters, it actually says your name if you have a proper name. Like if I put Gibbo in there, it doesn't say it. So I have to put Carl, and then my flight number is 32. That's just my age. So we'll say Carl 32 or Carl 32. Anything else? No. Livers I've selected. Aircraft selection I've done. And flight conditions, I've just set it on all players. I usually go on live players and have the weather on live, but then I go, if you want to change the weather yourself, go on all players. I've got live traffic, and then obviously when you've clicked all players, you can click preset. I do have live weather on anyway. You know, it's daytime and it seems to be okay. I might actually change it because it's got a few. Actually no, because it's showing that it's just a few clouds. So that's what I usually go for anyway. I usually go for a few clouds or scattered clouds. It's nice to see some clouds in the journey. So that is basically the flight that we're going to be doing. As you can see up here, it shows you all your different ones you go to, and if you press N for navlog, it actually doesn't do it on there. It's when you're in game, but if you click this here, navlog, it shows you all of where you go into, and then you've got your cruise, descent, and you'll have all your approach and all that stuff. Anyway, let's just get in the game, and we'll show you how to take off and land. Right guys, here we are at Manchester Airport. As you can see, it's very dull and shitty in England, even though it's not raining. That's a surprise. Actually, you can see someone in an aircraft behind me. I think this game does blow my mind sometimes. Right, excuse me. So what we're going to run through is just basically what I do. Sometimes we've got my VFR up. We don't really need that just yet. And then what I usually do is get my ATC up. Obviously the engine's not on, the electric's not on, so the ATC is not going to work just yet. And then I get my AI control, and then this is how I set my AI. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Checklist assist is on. Manage radio comms is on. You could obviously do these yourself. And control aircraft off. I've never tried that control the aircraft. I tried it once when I was trying to land to see if it would land. Didn't. It crashed. So yeah, I'll leave that. So I just want to show you what's on there. Alright, so we're going to jump inside the plane, and then we are going to get up our checklist. That's going to be behind my camera. So let's put it up here. What you need to do is go click it. You only have to do 3 different things. So it goes before start engine, and you can either go through each one of these and then click this little eye, so it'll actually show you. That's going to be in the way. But you need, obviously, you can do it individually, and you can go and click that, and then tick it to say you've done it. But what I'll do is just auto complete the page. Excuse me. Takeoff runway 23 right climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 118.775 squawk 6055. Magic Sun 6813 readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.705 when ready to taxi. Manchester clearance delivery Carl Tree to IFR to Dublin ready to copy. I thought they were calling me Magic Sun 6813, that was someone else. There you go, Carl 32. Clear Dublin Airport. Maintain 8,000 feet. Right, so what I usually do now, when it shows up, as you can see, all these are done now, so what I'll go to is the next one. Takeoff runway 23 left climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure on 118.775 squawk 0617. Right, so yeah, you go to the next one and press auto complete that one. Contact ground. 121. Yeah. So obviously we're getting ATC coming through for other flights as well. Now I'm requesting pushback, even though I don't really want to move just yet, but he's coming in. He's not going to be able to move much because I've got my parking brake on. As you can see, he's on his way. He's just waiting for the engines to come on. Well, the engine's stabilised. It said we need to go to 8,000 anyway, so what we could do is go in the cockpit, and then I usually set this to 8,000 already. Click downwards, so you just turn this altitude, and then click down to set it. Also here we have decrease selected airspeed or increase. If you click the arrow at the top, it says engage manage speed mode, so I click that in. I usually do this again anyway when we're in the air, just in case it isn't actually selected. And I believe that is all she wrote at the moment. As you can see, engine's done. He's pushing back really slowly because my parking brakes are on, so we'll go to the next stage and then go autocomplete. There we go. So basically the engine is ready to go. I've got a joystick, so it's easy for me. So if I just take my brakes off. And it should stop the pushback automatically if you've got those settings correct.
Hold position Magic Sun 6813. Magic Sun 6813.
Now I would have been able to just go straight to the runway and took off and showed you that, but I wanted to show you how I, start, because some people jump on a plane and think, what the hell am I going to do? So, you know, end of pushback, there we go. So, what I'll do is, I have got the taxi assistance on, so if you see in a minute, hold short runway 23 left via taxi C. There we go. So as you can see, this is the lane I have, because some people will get dead confused on where to go. So I have this on, so it shows you actually where to actually go. Just follow those, and we will see you on the runway to show you how we lift off. Okay, so we're pulling towards the runway right now. We're going to hold.
Manchester Tower Carl Tree 2 ready to go runway 23 left IFR to Dublin. Carl Tree 2 cleared for takeoff. Runway 23 left.
So I'll just put my let me brake, put my throttle up. Clear to take off, but we're not going to just go straight away. Put that throttle down a bit so we can slow down, turn my rudder, and try and get in the centre line. Press the brake. Put my throttle down a minute, put my parking brake on. Just so I can show you now, guys, how I do it. So he said 8,000 feet was the climb at the moment. So what I do is go inside, set everything that I need to do. I put my FD on, that's flight display. I usually put my LS on, but I'm not going to do that just yet. We'll do that when we get close to the landing. So he said 8,000, so this is where you can scroll up or scroll down. So we're 8,000, and then click the bottom arrow at the bottom to select. We are on engage manage speed mode. This is where you can change your max range on your nav. So I usually have it, say, on the 20. So just basically zooms in and out. And then you got your different, so you can have nav, art mode. I think that says nav, I'm not too sure, but it's all your different settings. I could leave it on there, just make sure. What the hell was that noise? And just make sure I'm doing everything right. There's probably going to be something I end up missing out, but I've got takeoff and landing assistance, I think, on as well, so it does my flaps and everything for me. I need to start learning that myself, but you'd probably, if you haven't done it before, you'd probably have that on. Right, so autothrust and AP we can put on when it starts. So what I usually do now is pull the throttle all the way up. I've got my parking brake on, so I won't be moving anywhere, and I've got my joystick in my hand ready for me rudders and stuff. And if you can see on the screen at the bottom here, it will tell you where your takeoff range is. It's usually about 150, I think. And then we'll take the parking brake off, and we are going. That's my parking brake off. Now it's off. Try and keep that center line. There is probably something I've missed, but I hope not. But this is basically just for the beginners, so So as you can see, 120, 140, 160 is roughly, and then we're going to pull back slightly. And that's you roll. Are we up? Come on. Now we're up. There's a bit of wind now. And as you can see on the VFR at the top, we are kind of in line.
Carl 3, do contact Manchester Center on 118.775.
Just keep that climb. Now it's telling me overspeed and all that crap. So what I do, auto thrust is set, so we put AP on. I'm at 2,000 feet, so it should be alright. Usually if you put it on too soon, it will just drop. But as you can see, my speed is going down now. Let's just see in here. I'm still climbing. I've got my throttle in toga, which is take off, go around. So I'm going to put this down to where it says climb. That's what I usually do, because we're climbing up to 8,000. As you can see here, sorry, underneath the engines you'll see CL. My gear is still down. That's one thing I always forget, and I wonder why my plane's not bloody flying properly. Right now I'm saying overspeed again, so I always try and correct this so I'm not overspeeding because I'm underneath. Right, so as you can see, he's already reached nearly 8,000, so he's slowing down a bit. I say he, could be a she. And as long as you listen to the ATC, it's telling me now to climb 14,000. So I'll go back inside, turn this up to 14,000. Make sure you click that little arrow. Right, now I'm going to start climbing. Now I don't know if actually, where it says climb here, if I just put it on auto thrust, because that's what it's on, I would say auto throttle. So if I put it down a little bit, so you see now it says A/THR. So I'm going to leave it on that for a second, because at the end of the day I'm on auto, so it should do it. My flaps are all the way up, it does it itself. I'm still climbing, need to get to 14,000. And we will be getting, I'm assuming this is going to be our cruise speed. Sorry, our cruise altitude. I probably could have picked a bit of a better weather, but sometimes you just like to do the live weather. So I'm always checking back in here. Lights. Turn off left landing light. Why have I got my lights on now? I don't know. Let's turn the lights off. And as you can see now, I'm just heading towards Mogta. And you can zoom out, obviously, on these VFRs, move around. And if you want to go back to the plane, just press GPS tracking and it goes back. Just zoom in a bit. Just going to try and line up with that now. My nav lights are on. Yes, they are. Wing lights are on. Strobe is on. Not that these are important, I just like doing it. Is there anything else? Are we slowing down? So it must be getting 14,000. Just hopefully I'm not messing anything up. So yeah, we picked the ILS landing, that you know, the purple bit at the end. So when I reach to that point, I'll end up turning the LS on, and then what you try and do is find these. You get these little dots on the side of on the screen, and when it goes purple, there's like a little purple. When it finds both of them, or when I get a bit close, I usually press then the approach button, and it literally does it all for you. Usually my landings are butter, but that's probably because there's a lot of help on there. You know, at the end of the day, if you're starting a new game and you don't know what you're doing, get some of the assistance on it. So let's just go back outside a second. And we are literally on point of 14,000. Right, so we are technically, I think, at our cruise altitude now, because it's not telling us to climb anymore. We actually in climb for some reason. Is that my... So I'm just going to put the throttle down to ATHR again. and we will leave it there, and I'll be back when we're about to land. Right, now the ATC has just popped up saying that we need to descend and maintain 8,200 feet. So what you can do now is, if we go to say 9,000, and then if you click this little black next to it, you can set the altitude selection increment to 100 instead of 1,000, and then turn it so it goes down in hundreds. So we want 8,200, and then select that one, select down. Now if you just click the black one again, it'll go back to thousands. But now I am descending. We should be on, as you can see, we've only got this little bit here on the VFR, and then we're on the approach.
Carl 32, please expedite your descent to 8,200 feet.
Please expedite your descent. I am doing. See, this is the thing as well with the game. Sometimes not everything works perfectly. And I did. I think I might have clicked the high altitude. Yeah, I think I was doing the high altitude by accident, and I did not descend quick enough before the runway. I had to go around a few times till I got to the right altitude, and then I landed manually, which was actually quite yeah, impressive on my own behalf. You know, I was quite happy, pleased with myself. But yeah, like, this is just going to show you how easy it is to land. You know, I might say things wrong, I might do things wrong. I don't know much stuff about planes. I am loving this game though, so I'm learning, and I thought I'd teach some of you guys who are beginners on how to land and take off. Now hopefully, as you can see here with my altitude limiter on the right hand side, it's even set to the top, 8,200 in that blue. That's what I've set it as, and I am getting close to it now. And as soon as I get, they'll probably tell me to descend to something else. Now at this point, well, when we get round this bend, I will turn this LS on, and it should show us, I think it basically tells you if you're in line with the runway from the bottom, and then on the side it's your glider scope. Like I said, you know, people, please do correct me. You know, don't put any mean comments or anything. Just, you know, I'm here to learn as well as every other person. So we should. Right, so now we're going on Dublin's yeah, radio. Feet for 3,000. Why am I not dropping to 82? As planned. Right, this is what I want to show you. Altimeter 30.15. So this is this bit here. Mine's automatically doing it, but if you need to set it, just spin that and press again the down button. What I've also done as well is put this constraint on. I'm not too sure why. I'm still learning, like I said, but someone told me to keep this on, so I've just put it on. Approach, altimeter. So I'm still dropping. Yep. Right, so we're kind of on that thingy now. So what I'm going to do is put the LS on. And we don't have these, usually you'll see the purple. Basically like that purple colour there, it's going to be a little diamond at the bottom and a diamond on the right. It's probably going to come in when we get to here about, maybe. But yeah, well, you know, we're on course. I've noticed as well the plane is like getting really icy, and there is a way of making sure your plane don't get icy. But I'm not sure on how to do it. There is some kind of light, like de-icer lights or something. I don't know what it is. It's somewhere here or here. But yeah, I'm not going to mess about and do things until and screw it up. So if I just go down, we're going to press. What I've noticed as well, I keep pressing shortcuts on my keyboard for the game, and it's actually changing my OBS. So I need to set that right as well eventually. Looking outside now is, I can't see Jack knobbing shit. Oh, I can actually see what the hell's all this underneath me? Oh, that looks like bloody mountains. I know it's just clouds, but You ever see it on them films where... Why am I dropping? It should be 8,000. It is bloody mountains. Crap! I know. Did they say to... I'm speeding back up. What the hell? I literally... I think I might have missed something here. 9,700. It's supposed to be 8,100. Wow. And I'm going way too up there now. Alright. Unless I wasn't in auto thrust here. Let's make sure everything's right. Right, we can see the purple mark here. Purple diamond. We're in line. We need the glide scope, really. Right, now it's doing something. It's slowing down then. So, I don't know what I did wrong. My fault. But I was dropping. And I'm dropping again. Maybe it's this. I don't know. But we've got both of them on anyway. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click approach. And it's just lining up with the glide scope. It's going to start lining up with stuff. I'm going to take that constraint off because I didn't use it last time. So that might be the problem. What I'm worried about here now is it's dropping altitude but told me to keep at 8,100 and I don't understand why. Technically I should leave it because if it wants to drop and crash. Cleared ILS 128 approach, right, okay. Cleared ILS 1 way. I think that's all it tells you now, so I should have just... Oh, wait a minute. The one approach 32. It's at 970 feet for 3,000. What an absolute idiot. So, yeah, I should have gone down to 3. Right, now I'm clicking the fucking... Right, there we go. And then go back to hundreds. Just put that down to 300. Make sure that's set correctly. Right. Right. See, there's still a learning curve. I'm here trying to teach you guys, and I'm the one screwing it up. So this is why. But it was doing it itself anyway. I was just confused why it was dropping when it was set to 8,200. But he actually said, if I just look up here now, it's out for 9,700 feet for 3,000 feet. See, now the engine's kicked in again now because it's going to stabilise at 3,000. Now if we actually zoom in, can we see the runway? I think that might be it there. And it might start, the frames might start going really bad. With us being a new airport. This is the first time at this airport. Right, so it's going to go down to 3,000. I've already put my approach on, so technically now I shouldn't have to mess with the altitude. It should do it itself. My flaps, they do it itself. Trim. See, oh, it's just kicked in for some reason. So my airspeed's kicking in now. It's because I'm actually, for some reason, climbing. I think it's just trying to level out, getting that glide scope and that them purple marks right. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've missed. I've got AP on still. I've got my auto throttle or auto thrust on, and APPR. That's your approach. That's what you need to put on when it goes purple. When you get them two little purple. Now it looks like my nose is up, as you can see here on the trim. And I am dropping still. Even though I set at 3,000, I believe it's doing it itself now. And let's just see if we can see the runway. How far away are we? We're not that far. Is that it there? I believe it is. So all I'm doing is zooming in and moving around. I am not doing nothing. Now what I do suggest is when you do land, at the moment I'm just landing on the outside view. I get my hand on the joystick very lightly because I believe if I do move the joystick, it might take the autopilot off. And I've got my trigger button set as my brakes. Now another thing you can actually do is, if you see these three buttons here in the middle, I hate doing that because it starts with that. You can actually set, this is where the frames are going crazy. Up a bit. Right, auto brakes. You can set that to low, medium, max. You know what we'll do? Actually set it to medium. Even though we don't need it. I hate doing the wheel. Right, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 28, Carl Tree 2.
Right, try and lead. There we go. Frames are going really bad now. And then, yeah, I brake. As soon as I hit, I brake and put it into reverse thrust. Now, I've set a button to reverse thrust as well. But if you're using keyboard, or what I'd recommend if you haven't got a joystick, is an Xbox controller. That's what I was using. And all you do is put your throttle, keep putting your throttle down. And when you reach 0, it automatically goes into reverse. So when you're about to land, get it to 0. And then when you land, keep pressing your decrease thrust, descent, you know what I mean, the left one, and it'll go automatically into reverse and brake at the same time. So as you can see, I'm still not doing anything. Hopefully this works out fine. At the start of the runway, you always see these 4 lights, and we're hoping to get 2 white, 2 red. I think 2 white, too many white means you're coming in too high, and too many red you're coming in too fast, or too low, or the other way around, something like that. Seems like it's going alright at the moment. Let's just give it a bit of a zoom in. And now obviously if you were doing this as a proper sim, you'd be inside the cockpit, so you can do that if you want. But I do like to do it like this for the time being, and this, for some reason, it always looks like I'm not... Oh, it's put my gears out. I forgot to put my gear out. See, it does it for you. This is why you should have your landing assist on. Because if you've got bad memory like me, then... I always feel like I'm about to crash right in front of it, though. What am I? 500? Fucking hell. Already. Right, I'm getting ready for my brake and my reverse. You should see I've got 2 red, 2 white. And it looks like I'm not lined up properly, but it will line up, I think. I hope. It's not going to line up. Are you shitting me? Yeah, it is.
100, 60, 50, 40, 30.
Alright, for some reason it's not landing up. Right, get on the line. Yes.
121.8 for Carl Tree 2.
Right, so that was an alright landing. We didn't land on the fucking runway. Why? Oh shit. Right, keep holding me brake a minute because my thrust. Do you know what that might have been actually? I might have to put the throttle all the way down. I did still have it on auto throttle. But I don't know, I might have really bad crosswind. Oh, it was the live weather and the crosswinds. I don't know. But we landed. That was the main point. So I'm going to let go of my brake, keep my throttle up a bit. And it does actually say that I'm going to contact... I'll just put that on a minute. Contact 121.8. That's just thingy. And then we're going to do request taxi to gate.
Dublin ground, Carl Tree 2, taxi to the gate.
Now if I put my throttle up, it should come up with the blue.
Taxi to gate 1565, taxiway cross runway 28, Echo 4 Bravo Hotel, 2 cross runway tree, 4 Hotel, 1 Lima India November Kilo, 4 Lima India November Kilo tree.
Okay, now. Right, where's my blue mark? There we go.
162 requesting pushback.
So yeah, so we taxi now to the gate. And then I'll show you what we do when we get to the gate.
Cross runway 28, Echo 4 Bravo Hotel, 2 cross runway tree, 4 Hotel, 1 Lima India November Kilo, 4 Lima India November Kilo tree, Carl Tree 2.
Alright, so we're about to come into the gate. What is to do is... Oh, let's brake a minute. Is it that one? And then let's go outside view, so then when we go back in, we're here. Is that the one that I usually got? 0. That's the one. And lift up a bit, right. So we'll carry on, and then when we get close inside, we'll see the guy, and we'll look on the inside, and we'll see where he's telling us to park. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is a bit of fun, you know what I mean? We basically just landed a plane on full-on automatic, so it wasn't perfect. But all my other landings I've had have been perfect. Just wanted to show me up on that one. Right, he's telling me to go right for some reason. Oh, now straight. Still coming forward. I can't see you, mate. There we go. And when he crosses over, it means brake. Going. Brake. Just like that. I'm going to turn my thrust down. My throttle. Keep saying thrust. Parking brake on. And then if I look outside, we are parked. Now you could do some fun things like putting your gate over, so we go to ground services and we're going to request jetway connection and see if it works.
Ground, Carl Tree 2, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft? Carl Tree 2, the jetway is going
What's this one? I thought it was going to be this one on the right. Are you even going to reach from all the way over there? Go on, my son. Sometimes there's a big gap, but it's actually doing it. And then this bit, I'm assuming, is going to come out. Don't tell me it's just that. Oh my god. They've got a massive jump. Yeah, as you can tell, this game isn't perfect. You can obviously do like, look, fuel supply, power supply, baggage, jetway. So what I'll do now is to finish the run, or finish the flight, is we press Control, Shift and E. And it turns your engine off. Now it doesn't normally do that. Usually you'd have to actually go in your cockpit and turn your electrics off too. Sometimes you have to do that. So if you turn your engine off and it still hasn't come to the screen, go in the cockpit, look up on the ceiling, and there's two buttons that says batteries, and you turn them off, and then this happens. So that was actually the first time for me. So that was mainly it, guys. To be honest, I just wanted to get a video out there for this game, see what the graphics are going to be like through OBS and see what the settings are. So I thought I'd show you how I take off and land. It wasn't perfect, as you could tell. We landed on the field, but at the end of the day, we still landed. And we got back on the runway. So yeah, there's probably a few things I've missed out. That's probably important, but at least you saw how I landed, how I took off, what buttons I pressed, and so on. It is so easy. But that's just mainly for beginners. Eventually you can start turning the assists off and start doing it yourself, and actually doing all like the checklists at the start, and then actually flying the whole thing yourself. You know, that's the whole point. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that helped. If it did, comment, let me know. Please, you know, if it didn't, don't put some hate comments. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm learning myself. If there's anything you want to teach me, put in the comments as well, because that'd be great. I'm always here to learn. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope to see you in the air sometime. And yeah, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.